Hello students, welcome to today's session of Daily Chemistry Dose. So today we shall be discussing one important question based on organic chemistry pertaining to aldol and Cannizzaro reaction. In fact, this question which is coming in front of you is being sent by somebody from Maharashtra. Child was not able to understand this particular question. So to give a solution of this question to that fellow, I thought of placing a video so that more students get benefited from this particular discussion. So what is being asked in this particular question? A compound. In fact, this question to begin with, it seems like easy, but it is quite engaging and challenging if you don't have a good hold of organic chemistry. So what is being asked in this particular question is that compound R. In fact, this question starts from here. The compound R happen to give you P and Q on ozonolysis, and the properties related to P and Q is being given to you in the form of reaction, and the starting material P is being treated with KOH and Q is also being treated with KOH. So here, let me show this in a clarity. This compound is this much, this one. So this is what, and I should write it like alpha beta. This is alpha beta unsaturated ketone. Now, as soon as I write it, those who are aware of the fact that this is nothing but a aldol product. But since the child is not able to understand, let me explain it in more detail. So first, so there are three things happening in this reaction. One is ozonolysis, another is aldol, and third is Cannizzaro. So how to tackle this particular question? First, let me place it the fact that what is exactly the ozonolysis. Now here, ozonolysis in itself is a quite a lengthy. All the three reactions in itself is a quite lengthy and quite engaging, and quite of discussion can happen in the long term batches or in the regular batches. So in 5-7 minutes, I shall be placing it the simple tricks to play with this particular question to get the answer. So as regard to ozonolysis, first you should know that whenever any double bond is treated with ozone followed by zinc water, that is reductive hydrolysis, ozonolysis followed by reductive hydrolysis, you just have to do this shortcut, that you just have to break this double bond and place CO group in opposite to each other. This is what you would get. And once you get a CO group, this is nothing but aldehydes and ketones. So this is for sure that all of these compounds, whatever is the options given, all of these can be broken from the center to give you aldehydes and ketones. Thereafter, you have to see that which aldehyde and which ketone would be formed to give you these products. So that is our challenge. So to understand this part, the discussion or mechanism related to ozonolysis shall be discussed in some other video. So now here, what you have to first figure it out, that in aldehydes and ketones there are two types of compounds. One, if I say aldehydes and ketones can broadly be classified into two categories for understanding of this question: aldehydes and ketones with alpha hydrogen atoms, and second is without alpha hydrogen atoms. So without alpha hydrogen atoms, if you know this much of information or this much of knowledge, you are able to crack this question. Now, what when I say the aldehydes and ketones with alpha hydrogen atoms, what does it mean? So this, if I say I have this compound, let's say acetone I have, or if I write aldehyde, benzaldehyde or acetaldehyde. So when I say alpha hydrogen, what does it mean? A carbon directly attached to functional group, that is carbonyl in this case, is called as alpha carbon. This also is a alpha carbon. This also is a alpha carbon because it is directly attached to a function group. The hydrogen attached to alpha carbon is called as alpha hydrogen. This is what you call it as alpha hydrogen. So in totality in this, there are 6 alpha hydrogen, and all the 6 alpha hydrogen are chemically identical. Here you have 3 alpha hydrogens, 3 alpha hydrogen. And vis-a-vis parallel to this, if I write formaldehyde, or for that matter benzaldehyde, here you have not having any alpha hydrogen, although all the CO group is not attached with any carbon containing hydrogen atom. So that is, so it would not be having alpha hydrogen. This also would not be having alpha hydrogen. As a matter of fact, this is having alpha carbon, but this alpha carbon has not having any hydrogen atom attached to it. So first you have to identify these two things. That now the point is, here also you have to remember that a compound which would have alpha hydrogen, as a matter of fact, a compound which would have alpha hydrogen and a compound which doesn't have alpha hydrogen, if treated with a alkali on both sides, because as I said, this is a quite a lengthy discussion, but in 5 7 minutes I have to place it the answer. So here I would say this is having alpha hydrogen, this is not having alpha hydrogen. The one which is having alpha hydrogen, in that this H positive goes out as water, and this is what you call it as acid base reaction happening. Acid base reaction happening to generate a carbonyl type of a species, which we call it as, this is resonance stabilized, and this we call it as enolate. Why we are saying it is enolate? If I do its resonance and would place it like this, so this is what you call as enolate, because there is a double bond we say it as to ene, and OH, if there had been one OH group here, so it would have become enol, but that H has been removed out, so it becomes enolate. So that is the viewpoint. So first you have to remember, or you have to figure it out, that a compound which have alpha hydrogen in it when treated with alkali would undergo where the OH negative would act as a base. This is very important. But here I should make it a point that this is acting as an acid. So this would be, if it is a base, this would be its conjugate acid, and this would be its conjugate base. This is a base, this is a conjugate acid, and this is acid, and this is conjugate base. But this reaction is at equilibrium, and it is not very much forward driven. Make it a point, because the pK value of acid which is being formed, that is water, is 15.7, and aldehydes and ketones generally have pK value ranges between 20 to 21. So pK value, so this is a weaker acid, this is a weaker acid, this is a stronger, if we compare it. But for, because as I said, this is quite a lengthy discussion to explain the things, that as soon as you keep on increasing the strength of this base, if the basicity of this keeps on increasing, this equilibrium start moving to forward direction. And as we proceed in the aldol condensation, you are able to get that once this enolate is being produced, we are going to use it in the next step, in the next equilibrium step. So this equilibrium got shifted towards the forward direction. But in the second case, this OH negative would not be acting as a base here. So here it would be acting as a sort of nucleophile. So here it is acting as a nucleophile, or it is undergoing nucleophilic addition reaction. So prima facie, this is the difference. What you have to first figure it out, that any aldehyde or ketone which is having alpha hydrogen is being treated with OH negative, then that aldehyde and ketone first start as an acid and would generate enolate. And this here, if it is treated with OH negative, it would react with the OH negative react with the aldehyde or aldehyde without alpha hydrogen to act as a nucleophile. So let us do this one by one. So first let me start with the first I would take up the case of Cannizzaro. So what exactly do we do in this Cannizzaro reaction? In the Cannizzaro reaction, let's say I start with benzaldehyde. If I start with benzaldehyde, first you have to treat it like a nucleophile. Here we don't have alpha hydrogen available. So what I shall be doing is, this is delta positive, delta negative. This would attack here, this goes here. So as a consequence, what you end up getting here, you would get a something like a this species. Here you get a OH and this gets a H. So first step is this. First, the addition of OH negative as a nucleophile to a carbonyl group. Now in the second step, what has been seen is that the another mole of that same compound, that is benzaldehyde, here what would happen is this negative charge pushes this H negative. This is very important to remember, and this H negative attacks this. This is very important to explain it here. This is what you call it as, if I show it like this, that this reaction has happened like this. This is this second step which we are saying it as, that what has moved out from here. So this is or transfer of hydride ion. This is a transfer of hydride ion. Who prompted it? Because as I said, this is at equilibrium. Now O negative would not be stabilized. It has to come back. If it is has to come back, either it will throw out OH negative. Then what is the purpose of adding OH negative if it has to be thrown out? So only thing which we are left with is H negative. So this acted as a source of H negative. And the good question which may be asked from this dimension also, that once you have got this compound, this is a very beautiful question which is being generally asked here, is that what type of groups should I place it here so that this H negative movement goes easier. So more the electron releasing groups you would place on this phenyl group, or the groups which would show plus R effect, which would intensify the negative charge on this two carbon so that H negative can go out. Any electron releasing group tend to place, if any electron releasing group when placed here would throw out H negative easily. So the second step which we have said, let me first complete. And what shall now I be getting? So I shall be getting something like this. So this compound which I am writing it here is going to get converted into COH, and this compound would change into this compound. This becomes O negative, H, and one H negative came here. So what exactly has happened? This has become alkoxide, sort of a alkoxide, and this has become an acid. And it has been seen that this step which I have drawn here is the movement of hydride ion is a slow step. This is a rate determining step. So I would categorically write it here as a rate determining step. So the second step had been rate determining step, and the third step, once you get this out, once you get this acid, and this is alkoxide. So alkoxide is a very strong base, it would abstract this H positive, and as a consequence this would change into carboxylic acid, and this would change into alcohol. So let me write it once again to make it a feel out of it. So we started with this compound treated with OH. Now see, I'm going to do this in a speedy way. Then what has happened? This has become negative, and here comes the OH and H, and this attacks the another mole like this, and here comes the negative charge. This H goes here, hydride shift. So this is what we are doing, and this we are saying as is to be slow step, and ultimately I would get here is carboxylic acid, and here I would get a O negative, H and H. Now this is alkoxide type of a species, so this would undergo intramolecular proton exchange. So not intramolecular, within two molecules, this O negative would snatch this out, and this would become carboxylic acid, salt of carboxylic acid, and other would become uh, benzyl alcohol. So this is what has to be remembered, and this is very interesting to tell you that this, in a way, if you see this reaction in totality, so in totality if I write, there are two moles of this, and it's treated with this OH negative, and ultimately you end up getting carboxylic acid along with benzyl alcohol. This is what we get. So in a way, this also is a beautiful way to explain it here. This is a disproportionation reaction. Disproportionation reaction. In the disproportionation reaction, this carbon has been oxidized to acid, and same carbon also being reduced also. This also being reduced also. So I may ask you a homework that you have to let me know what is the N factor of benzaldehyde in this disproportionation reaction. This is a very important question. You just can write on the comment section what answer do you get, and I will place a video for the solution of this question. So this is a disproportionation reaction, and from the chemical kinetics point of view, this reaction is a reaction which generally would adopt third order kinetics. The third order kinetics reactions are very rare, and it may also adopt fourth order depending upon the functional group attached to the phenyl group. Type of group I have placed here, what type of group I have placed here, some groups would not allow this H negative to go, then I have to place one more OH negative. So if there is electron withdrawing group, then it may turn up to the fourth. So as I said, this is a quite a detailed topic. So as a matter of fact, only one thing I want to show, that the aldehyde which doesn't have alpha hydrogen would undergo Cannizzaro reaction. Now coming on to the other part, that is the aldol condensation part. So let me take a case of ketone. Here I again would tell you a shortcut, that for aldehyde, for aldol condensation, if I happen to write it here, for aldol condensation, what you have to remember is you need to have a alpha hydrogen. This alpha hydrogen, you just place it like this alpha hydrogen, you just place it like this, because when OH negative is being placed with it, this hydrogen would come out and would turn to become enol or negative charge, and this negative charge then would attack this, and this goes like this. So as a consequence, what you happen to get is beta hydroxy ketone. So this is what you get on aldol condensation. So it is beta alpha beta beta hydroxy ketone. So beta hydroxy ketone, on heating, this would undergo dehydration to form. This is uh, here I have just squeezed the mechanism, and as I said, these all are quite a lengthy topics. So this what is what you call it as this tend to adopt E1CB mechanism. If I go from this side to this side, first this you have to remember, that whenever we happen to write beta hydroxy aldehyde or ketone, this is what you call it as aldol product. And aldol product, once we get, and if you heat it, it would undergo dehydration to give you alpha beta unsaturated ketone or aldehyde. Now why I have placed these examples only, because I could see these two there in that question. So this is what is being, this is the benzyl alcohol part, this is the salt of carboxylic acid. So this Q shall be benzaldehyde, Q shall be benzaldehyde, and would undergoing Cannizzaro reaction. And this is what you have seen is the case of acetones aldol condensation. So here I could see that this particular P, if I write, the P has become, the P compound would be this one, and the Q compound already being written here is this one, that is benzaldehyde. So these two things would be generated from the option number B. So if I break it from center, so this part would change into benzaldehyde. Benzaldehyde doesn't have any alpha hydrogen, it would undergo Cannizzaro, and this part would change into ketone, and it is having alpha hydrogen. So in the presence of alkali, it would undergo aldol condensation. So I hope all of you have understood this particular topic, but in a totality, ozonolysis, Cannizzaro and aldol condensation are quite a lengthy topics to handle with, but I tried my level best to explain it in a shorter interval of time. So in some other video, I exclusively would take these named reactions one by one in some other point of time. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day, and hope you have understood the things. And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, and do keep passing me such doubts of you people. It would be delight solving those and placing it as videos. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.